We are joined now by West Virginia Governor Patrick Morrisey. Appreciate him joining on with us right now. And there's a lot we're going to dive into with you, Governor. But right off the top, you wanted to tell us all about what you've got going on when it comes to helping veterans become teachers. It's a very great idea, particularly here on Memorial Day weekend as we celebrate veterans who gave the utmost. Where did the idea come from? What is it like, and how is it going so far?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me on. And this is not an idea that I came up with, but I'm smart enough to learn from people who are spending a lot of time on these topics. And for those who don't know, there used to be a federal program, a troops to teachers provision and program a number of years ago. But we had a couple legislators who were veterans who really were thinking a lot about different ways that our former troops could get into the classrooms, because they know that West Virginia is a state where we have a shortage of qualified teachers. And so a number of these veterans over a multi-year period kept trying to push a bill that would allow veterans to get into the classroom quicker. And as you know, a lot of times in various states, there's a slowdown of how long does it take to get into the classroom. You have to go through 18 different hoops and certifications to get through. We said, look, we need to start to move that a lot faster. And so now, under this new troops to teachers law, we have a chance to get these veterans into the schools quicker. We're going to bypass some of the red tape that exists right now. I'd like to get them in even quicker, but this is a way we begin to address our school teacher shortage. It's also a way that we reflect the great experience that these veterans have. It's pretty amazing when you're looking for leadership, organizational skills, and knowledge, the ability to relate to people. I mean, you can't really do much better than vets. So we thought it was a great bill. Kudos out to Tom Willis and Bill Ridenhour, two of the people that were driving it in the legislature. And when I heard about this bill, we got involved, and we knew that we had to tout it so that we can get more vets into the schools.
No doubt. West Virginia is maybe the reddest state in the country now. How would you assess what West Virginians think of the job Trump has done so far?
Look, I think West Virginians are very happy with President Trump, and they know that he's shaking things up in Washington, D.C. He's driving for America's energy independence, which helps West Virginia tremendously because West Virginia is America's energy state. He's looking for ways to take on the swamp and return power back to the states and to the people. We love that. He has common sense, conservative ideas that we also appreciate in West Virginia. So, look, I think he's doing very, very well. He had a lot of positive things in his first term. I think it's even stronger here in his second term of office. So I was just at the White House a little bit earlier today, and I saw the president and a lot of cabinet members yesterday. And let me tell you, these guys are working their tails off for the American people. And I know that West Virginia is going to benefit, and it's been a pleasure partnering with them. What a change going from Biden to Trump for West Virginia. It makes all the difference in the world.
No doubt. And I'm curious, you've lived in West Virginia for, I think, 20 some odd years now. I know you're originally from the East Coast. But what do you think the evolution of West Virginia's voting history? I live here in Tennessee, and certainly there's been an evolution here too. But from a place where Democrats were rock-ribbed and felt very confident that they were going to always get those votes, to a place now which, as I mentioned, right up there with Wyoming and a few other states, voted Trump and for you, voted red as aggressively almost as any state in the nation. What does that evolution reflect not only about West Virginia, but I think to a certain degree, and certainly Joe Manchin would reflect this too, the collapse of the Democrat Party when it comes to just being a party that normal people with common sense supported?
I think that's right. Look, all discussions have to start with the fact that you had a series of presidents on the Democrat side that sold out West Virginia. When you have people openly talking about ending the use of coal and showing great disrespect for our energy resources, that's never going to put you on a favorable light in West Virginia. And we had that. Even if you go back to Gore in the 2000 race, if many people may remember that George Bush won in West Virginia, and everyone talks about Florida being the difference maker in 2000, but in reality, West Virginia's electoral votes were critically important, and for a long time prior to that were just considered locks in the Democrat column. So I would say that coal and our energy resources and just the common sense conservative values that people show, that the Democrat Party has gone so far off the rails. And I think people know that, whether it's men playing sports with women or some of these crazy issues pertaining to DEI. We actually were doing some cleanup of DEI. Even in West Virginia, when I came in, there's still some DEI we were working to clean up. So I would say that West Virginians are looking for common sense in their government, but we care about our freedoms, and we want to have the ability to really grow, lift up our standard of living, drive our educational attainment. And I think President Trump wants that. And people know that while the state has moved, no one is taking anything for granted. I certainly won't. I want to work hard and run through the finish line every single day to help West Virginia grow. And that's why we're talking about doing our backyard brawl against all the states that we touch, lifting ourselves up economically, really improving our educational system and getting our workforce participation numbers up. So we're doing a lot of good things, but we know that the state has evolved, but in part because the Democrats absolutely left us in West Virginia, and people now know that got some folks that really care about the state's future in charge.
Is Country Roads the best song about a state anywhere in the country?
It's a great song, and I don't know if you guys know this, but during the Super Bowl, there was a commercial, and it was by Rocket Mortgage, and you started hearing Country Roads, and I thought it was pretty unbelievable because when they were talking about it, I first thought it was a West Virginia tourism commercial because, it's Country Roads and talking about West Virginia, but in reality, it was a commercial bank, and we were really we loved it. I mean, we thought it was incredible, and wherever you go across the globe, people know that there's an indomitable spirit coming out of West Virginia. Country Roads reflects that. Guys, one thing I do want to put on your radar screen, September 13th, we have a backyard brawl football game between WVU and Pitt. But the reason I mention this to you guys, less about the sports, but all leading up to it, we're going to have backyard brawl economic announcements that whole week in Morgantown and in West Virginia, talking about the steps West Virginia is taking to really climb up in the rankings. Our comebacks are beginning. So we've got a lot of incredible history and culture in West Virginia, and now we're taking on some tough challenges. West Virginia is on the rise, and we're pretty psyched about it.
It's a beautiful state, fabulous place to be. I went to a wedding there, and everybody got drunk, and the final song of the night was Country Roads, which was a pretty awesome experience. So we will have you on that week because that is a great rivalry. I'm a college football guy, and everybody knows West Virginia Pitt is about as good as it gets. We'll have you on that week to share some of the good moves that you guys are making economically in the state, and we appreciate the time and hope you and your family have a good Memorial Day weekend, Governor.
Hey, same to you guys. Appreciate you having me on today, and happy Memorial Day to everyone listening.
Appreciate that. Thanks so much. Buck is not in today, as some of you may have noticed, but I bet right now he is getting nervous because the New York Knicks play tonight against the Indiana Pacers, and they had one of the all-time epic choke jobs just a couple of days ago. Sorry, WOR listeners. Maybe you weren't expecting it. But you need to get signed up right now for Prize Picks. You can have fun whether you love the NHL, whether you love Major League Baseball. Ronald Acuna, Atlanta Braves star, is coming back. My boys are excited. Just in time for them to get out of school. Acuna back from a torn ACL.